Okay, here I'm going to go over, if you find something that you suspect to be blood at a crime scene, how do you go about detecting whether blood is present in the evidence that you have found? So starting first with the light source. This is often the first tool used to investigate a crime scene. Why? Because it can cover a large area efficiently. It can identify more than just blood. Bodily fluids can be identified that would not be visible under normal lighting conditions. Also, fingerprints might be able to be seen under these artificial light sources. These artificial light sources are typically high-intensity light or UV light are used to help identify this trace evidence at a scene. Then there are reagent tests. These are examples of presumptive tests. Now, a presumptive test can only confirm the presence or absence of a sample. It kind of is a positive or negative. Doesn't really tell you much more than that, but that can still be important. These tests function based on the properties of hemoglobin in the blood and are often used with some type of chemical reaction resulting in a color change. In this case, you see the negative being clear, the positive being a purple pinkish color. Further tests at the crime lab can determine if it's human blood or not, but this at least gives the investigator some initial results. Those blood reagent test, or phenolphthalein. This is typically referred to as a Kastle-Meyer test, and it produces a pink color when it reacts with hemoglobin. So here we have a red substance that we suspect is blood. While using phenolphthalein here, we can see it turns pink from a clear solution. This is indicating that it is blood. It does not confirm that it's human blood or frog's blood or something else, but this gives an initial step in the investigation process. We also have blood reagent test examples. HemaStix is another one. It's a strip that's been coated with tetramethylbenzidine, and it will produce a green to bluish-green color with the presence of hemoglobin. And again, this is kind of on the bottle. It kind of gives you that color indication. Can be another quick way to be able to determine whether or not the substance you're looking at is blood. There's also luminol, which is a chemical that can locate traces of blood even if it's been cleaned or removed. Investigators spray the luminol solution throughout the area and that's under investigation, and we'll look at the reactions with iron present in the blood, which causes a blue luminescence to occur. However, this chemical does react with other substances, potentially some metals and paints and cleaning products, and also plant materials. So again, this isn't a 100% guarantee, but it does provide at least some initial steps to try to determine potentially what you're looking at may be blood. So use this with caution because this chemical reaction can destroy the evidence on the crime scene. So if you're overusing this, you can be potentially harming the original evidence, which can impact the investigation later on. We also have fluorescein, which is a chemical similar to luminol, and it has that same kind of like fluorescent-like properties. It's also capable of detecting latent, which can't be seen, or old blood. It's ideal for fine stains and smears found throughout the crime scene. And after the solution has been sprayed onto the suspected area, UV light and goggles are used to detect any luminescent areas. So color will appear as greenish-white if blood is present. It may also react with many of the same things that luminol does, including but not limited to copper and bleach. So again, use it with caution. We also have the LCV, or the leucocrystal violet test. And this is a chemical process used to visually enhance blood that allows for easier photography and analysis from there on. Here we could see the image where we don't really see much of a footprint here, but here we spray it with crystal violet. We could see that purple color becomes much more evident. A lot better to photograph and be able to carry on for further parts of the investigation. Here we see the same thing again with a fingerprint.